My last couple of videos have been really sad, really depressing topics. And today I want to talk about how I kind of battle my dark thoughts, how I kind of suppress them, deal with them, whatever you want to call it, how I continue with my life despite my brain actively working against me. Now, whenever I'm at work, obviously there's a lot of downtime, especially in the midday, around 1 to 3 o'clock ish. And during that time, I have nothing to do other than think. I get all my prep work done. Um, Not a lot, much else to do other than just scroll on TikTok and think. And in that thinking time, my subconscious kind of takes over, and that's really where all the negative thoughts come in. I don't want to get into specifics, but just you get it. The typical, oh, you're worthless. Oh, God, you are amounting to nothing type shit. And through that, I've developed somewhat of like I don't want to say contingency, but somewhat of a game plan on how to deal with that. Firstly, I kind of I overtake those thoughts. Those thoughts mostly come from just emotion. They're just blanket emotions. They're just like surface level insults to myself. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I am a very logistical person. I'm very much, well, I'm going to disprove you with three evidence points, and you get it. The first, the first way on how I kind of just deal with those thoughts is I just fucking outprove them. I prove them wrong with facts and data. And to in my head, even though I'll still feel bad about what I'm like how I'm feeling about myself, I still at the end of the day I still know that it's wrong. And part of that makes me feel a little bit, it makes those feelings a lot less valid. Let's say for example I'm feeling bad about, let's say I'm having a slow day at work and I'm getting worried about money's tight or something. I think to myself, you know what, well, logistically I'm gonna get a couple slow days every month, maybe two or three. Money will always come in. I've never struggled with bills. I've never needed to use any of those, like, those ads you get on TikTok where it's like you can get $250 instantly with no credit check. I never need to use those. You know what I mean? Like, money is, it's not that big of an issue to where I'm like setting up GoFundmes. I'm fine. I have enough saved up. I have enough in my savings. I'm good. Logistically, I'm good. You know, and as well as that, the odds are that I'm gonna have an even greater day where I make even more money. Example, with the day I made like $350. You know what I mean? Like, if I have one bad day at work where I'm not making a lot of tips, who cares? It's gonna even out, or it's gonna be more in my favor. You know what I mean? That, like, something like that is just a quick way I can just disprove my own negative thoughts about myself. I'm using money as an example as something to not too dark. But I mean, like, even in instances where I'm thinking about myself where I'm like, let's say I had this goal of trying to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year, and I'm like still under 400 right now. I think I'm barely under 400. So I know I'm probably not gonna make my goal, and that's a little embarrassing. It's a little embarrassing. It's a little disappointing. I kind of imagined it to where by the time I move out, I have 1,000 subscribers. But I said at the end of the year in all my videos to give like a pure deadline. But I'm almost guaranteed not to reach that goal. And part of that makes me feel somewhat of a failure within what I'm trying to do. And whenever I see low view numbers or I see whatever, it always makes me feel really bad. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is not worth it, or it's not going to work out, or I need to quickly shift my entire life to try and figure out a different game plan for the rest of it. And the greatest way I tell myself that it will, like, it's the ball is rolling, snowballs forming down the hill, is I know that this is like it, like I have it, I have that innate feeling that I have it, that it will work, that this like will go off. Not this channel, but my main channel. Like it will go crazy. I will be able to sustain myself off of that. I have that feeling because it's just something that I feel in my soul, you know. So when I see those bad numbers, I have to remind myself, I'm like, no, I have it. I got this on lock. The ball is rolling. Every day I'm getting more and more subscribers. I started streaming on YouTube as well when I do my streams. Every single day, couple more subscribers. Every video I post, couple more. Ball is rolling. You know what I mean? Ball is rolling. We have the numbers. I can literally pull it up. I can pull up my analytics right now. And both my watch time and my views. My views are up. My watch time I think is actually staying the same. But it's like, let me see. Yeah, watch time, it's like evening out with my averages. Like I literally have analytical data to reference to disprove how bad I feel about myself and my progress with what I'm trying to do. My it's really easy to befall to your emotions. It's very easy to allow those negative thoughts, those first instinct negative thoughts to just hit you in the face really hard and to just take the punch, you know? It's so easy to do that. What's hard is looking at those dark thoughts and saying, "No, you're wrong." You know, and it's even harder to do that when you don't have data, when you don't have proof of those claims of being false, you know. I luckily am able to outsmart myself and say, "Oh, my like I'm feeling bad because I don't see the success. I don't see the immediate success. Okay, well, every single month I'm growing. Every single month is better than the last month, you know? It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before boom, you know, the big pop. What I'm trying to say here is that your negative thoughts are always going to be the first ones you have. Negativity is such an easy emotion to feel. And in that, your thoughts are always going to be, or your first thoughts are always going to be negative ones. But it takes resilience, it takes mental fortitude to look at that, to look at those initial thoughts and go, no, not only are these wrong, but I'm not going to allow them to affect the way I feel about myself, about my career, about whatever. I'm going to continue pushing forward because I know that I'm good. However much I may think I'm not going to succeed, I know I will succeed. However much I may think that I'm not making enough money this month and I can't afford rent, I know that I'll be fine and everything will work out, you know? It's all about just trying to outsmart yourself and trying to just be more logistical, be more factual, because at the end of the day, it's all emotions. It's all like you can't like you can't really like feel bad about yourself if you can just disprove it, you know? Obviously there are some cases where yes, you can have facts that will prove that you're a piece of shit like I did yesterday where I didn't show, but I talked about a hypothetical equation in which where if I remove myself from a family event, my family is higher chance to be happier. Yes, you can use facts like that to put yourself down, but in those examples, you can still find a way to make it positive. So I think what I'm trying to say is that even if you're using logic to put yourself down, you can still twist it to be a positive. No matter what, there's always going to be a positive side to what you're talking about. Unless it's like you killed 11 children. You know what I mean? You can't really spin a positive out of that. But in most cases of self degrading thoughts, you can always put a positive spin on it and then focus on that positive spin. or just disprove it, you know? There's always a way to move around these negative thoughts without fully embracing them and having them be a part of your identity. What I'm trying to say here is that you can get around these negative thoughts. They aren't the end all be all. It's just how your brain will work. And unfortunately, you will have to deal with it, but you can deal with it. And you can deal with it easier and easier as time goes on, as you learn new coping skills, whatever it may be. It will only get easier the more that you practice it, the more that you get better at identifying what these dark thoughts are and how to dismiss of them. I think I'm doing a pretty good job dealing with mine. Thank you.